Okay, so we are looking at introduction to Photoshop, and basically, as I said, Photoshop entails a lot and cannot be done within 1 or 2, 3 days. But when you get the foundation right, you can start doing your own thing, and then when you get challenges, we look at it together. So first, if you want to launch your Photoshop Studio or Photoshop app, you just go to your start button app icon here. You click on it. You can either look through or you can search for from the button you see down here. Alright. But then if I look through, this is my Adobe Photoshop, the 2019 version that we have installed. If I want to also search, assuming the applications are many and I cannot have access to them, I can also search. But now I can just from the look of the thing, I can just see it. So I can just select it. When you open it for the first time and you have not created anything on it, the interface looks a little bit uh, different from when you start using it. Because when you start using it, it's going to start keeping some information in the memory. So you have something like recent or document that you were working on. So when you open it for the first time, those things are going to appear on your screen. It will be a little bit different, but it's not anything that uh, anything much. Because I have used this thing for long, I have my recent or my last open files here. If you can open your own, you see that your own, you will not see all these things. You will not see all these things. But I have used it for some time to design certificates and other YouTube thumbnails and stuff. So when you open it, it will suggest the last opened ones for you. So in case you want to go back and edit one that you have already done, let's say this one, internet security basics, you want to go back and then maybe have a like an editing, or you want to kind of have a template. Some people they have a template for, let's say, birthday celebrant. So whenever it is time for birthday, they just go edit it and fix the person's image there and change the date of birth and the name. So if you have a template, anytime you want to work with it, you just open your Photoshop. You see this interface because it's going to be part of your recent what's the name? Part of your recent activity that you have done in Photoshop. Okay. So now we will look at some of the things that you are supposed to understand when you open your Photoshop. So we have file, we have edit, we have image, we have layer, we have type, we have select. There are a lot of informations here. But then we will go into the Photoshop before we start explaining some of these things. So if you have opened your own, you can see that from the left hand side here, we have create new and we have open. When you click on the open, it's going to open an existing work that you have done and saved in a PSD form. PSD means PSD means Photoshop, and that is the extension of this particular application. So any file that you work on and you are saving, you can save it in a PSD form so that you can be able to come back and edit it later. So sometimes you can just go online, get a PSD document and come and edit it if only you know what you are doing. So anytime you are looking for some information, you should know that the format is in that particular document type that you are looking for. So quickly we will start by looking at if you want to create a new project, how you do it. So you just click on create new. And when you click on create new, you see a new pop-up window. This place is very important because it's going to help you set the basics or the frame that you are going to be working in. So for instance, if you are good with measurement, then you don't have issue. If you are not good with measurement, this is where sometimes you have to be going online and be doing conversion. If you see pixels, what is the meaning of pixels, inches, centimeters? So for instance, if you are designing a flyer and then you want it to appear on a WhatsApp profile picture and fit. nothing should hide, nothing should, I mean, like everything should be seen clearly. What is the size that you are supposed to use? Is it supposed to be in inches? Is it supposed to be in pixels? Is it supposed to be in centimeters? So this first page, after clicking on create new, is very, very important because it's going to help you set the dimensions. Yes, the dimensions for your work. But then we have some pre-installed ones in the system, but sometimes it's not necessary you go for them. You can have your own uh, custom dimension. That's why we have the width here and then the height here. We have, if you want the thing to be in the portrait mode, this is the portrait size. If you want it to be in orientation, this is the orientation. So these are the two positions. Even Microsoft Word has its orientation. We have portrait and then landscape. This is the width and this is the height. And this is the unit that you are going to be dealing with. So depending on the document you are doing, for instance, if it's a land document, I don't think you go in for inches because inches, the number of inches that will give you, let's say, one plot is going to be high. So maybe, for instance, if it is a plot document or something like that, I think maybe uh, is it centimeters or millimeters? Sometimes you can do conversion to and see which one will really work for you. That one depends on who is doing the document. Now you see untitled document here. Here you can decide to put the name of the thing that you are working on. Let's say birthday template. So this is where you can decide to put the name of the document that you are working on. As I was saying, from here, we have a lot of installed uh, already pre-configured dimensions for you if you want to. So if you look at print here, we have, this is a letter, legal, tablet. So if you are doing something and it's in A4, this is A4. If you are doing something and it's in A4, this is A4. This is A6, this is A5, this is A3, B5. So all these things, you are supposed to understand the dimensions. For instance, if you are doing something that is a half of A4, then it means you are going for something like what? A5. Because I know twice of this A5 document will give you one A4 sheet. So the conversion will depend on you, what you are doing and what you. The conversion will depend on you, what you are doing and what you want to achieve. So as I was saying, the conversion would depend on you, what you are doing and what you want to achieve. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. So the same thing, if you look at this ways too, we have art and illustration, web and mobile app. In fact, some of them are more detailed that we may not even need it for now. This place, the mobile apps and stuff, I have not used it before. But basically, if you are designing let's say something that is supposed to fit iPhone 8, 7, 6, you can just choose the template so that you know that what you are doing is going to be inside that dimension. Please, do you understand? But basically, you have to normally do your own custom dimension. So let's say I want to go by 12.5 by 12.5, 12.5. So if I want to go by this, I'll just look at my resolution. Resolution, I don't know, it's English, but then it simply tells how sharp or let me see, how sharp your work that you are going to do is supposed to be. 72 is very down. So I can say I want my resolution to be 300. So I can just select 300 and then I'll just click on create. If you want to change the initial background of the document, you can just do so from here. You can change the background color, but normally it's left to be at the white background. So you click on create. So when you click on create, it's going to open the dashboard for you. Okay. So now we are in our dashboard now, and then we can quickly look at the thing we created. So this is the 12.5 I selected, which is very small, very small. So if I want to go back, this is very small. So I have to now go back and create another one. So I'll just go click on create, and then I'll wait for it to open. When it's open, I'll just go to, let's say, yeah, pixels. Oh, pixels or inches. 12.5, then 12.5. Then I'll just go for portrait mode. My resolution, I am okay. I just click on create. Okay, so but I didn't select artboard. No, wait, I'm coming. I didn't select artboard. Why is it selected? Okay, it's selected. Okay, I don't need that one. So I just click on create. So you can open as many documents. So as you can see, the first one is here, the second one is also here, like the way your Microsoft and your Google Chrome browser is. So you can have a lot of tabs opened and you can be going through different tabs. So the first one, I don't need it. I'll just click here to close it. That is it. I've closed the first one. So now we are going to be working inside the second one alone. Now that we are here, the most important thing is to understand the things I was mentioning from the beginning, the top three informations here. So we'll go through them one by one, and then when we finish, we look at what we can do before we close. So when you click on file, basically like Microsoft Word and any other application, it's having information like new, where new will allow you to open a new document like we have just done. Browse in Brave. We can also do open. Open will also help you to open an existing work. So the new, you are creating a new document. The open, you are opening an existing document. Then we have open as, we have, so you can close all. So when I opened, you saw I was having about three let's say tabs. You can just click on close all and all the tabs will close at the same time. We have not done anything on it, so we don't have the save activated, but we can anytime you are working, you can be saving them. The save as is activated, though the save as is basically used to save the name of the document. So you can just click on save as. So when I click on save as, let's say I want to put my work on desktop. What name do I want to give it to? I'll just say test. Now when I type test, we have save as type here. You have to be careful here. Save as type. You click on it. When you are saving the document, basically if you have in mind that you come back and be working on it from time to time, then the save as should be the first one, the PSD. Don't change it. But assuming you have finished the work and you want to now bring it in a form of image so that you can share across board, or you can use it for your social media or whatever that you are doing. That one, you are not saving it as PSD. You are going to select any of the formats you want here. You can choose JPEG 2000, or you can even choose PNG. We have PNG too somewhere. This one. And even sometimes when you are filling a form online, they will tell you the type of file extension they need. So if you are looking at getting the file extension right, you can use Photoshop to do. Some will tell you they want it in this format, bitmap. Some will tell you they want it in TIFF file. So if you are looking to get that particular thing like the way they want, you can even bring the image here. You can even save it in a form of PDF. You can do everything and save it in a form of PDF. But now we are trying to save the original work so that we can be editing it at any point in time. So, so we just click on the Photoshop version and save it. Now we have saved our document and it's on desktop. So for me to confirm, I can just go to my desktop and search for test. So if I look for test, This is it. This is the file. So at any point in time, I can open this PSD file and then edit it. So now we have our work saved. Okay. Now we can come. It is advisable I save first. Yes. Yes. When you create the dimension, the first thing is you saved it. Now after saving it, anything you do small, you now use the save button to save it. The save as is for the whole project, but then the save, if I, for instance, I do something small on it like this, if I just do something small, I have to now come and then save the document before I don't lose it. So you see the save is activated, so I can just click on save. I can just click on save so that as I'm working, I don't lose. So now it's saved like that. If I close this entire project, the last thing I did will still be there. Okay. So we go to the file, we are finished with the save option. We also have export. Export simply means you are exporting your work in a form that you like. So we can have export as PNG, export as, then you select the type that you want. We have generate image. These ones are not really necessary. Yeah, automate import script. No. All right. So this point, we will leave this one for here. Then we move on to the edit. The edit basically has to do with when you have started or when you start working. When you start working. So some of them, the undo, the redo, the copy, the cut, all these things will happen when you start actually the work. So we will get there. And this is the image. So you'll be able to tell this one too when you load in image, you'll be able to tell the image size. So if I click on this image size will tell us that the work that we are doing, the dimension that we set for the work is this. Do you remember we used 12.5 inches by 12.5 inches, and the resolution is, yes, and the resolution is 300. Yes. So if you have forgotten the dimension that you chose, you can just come to image and then go to image size, click on it, and then you see the dimension you chose. One advantage here is that sometimes you'll be working on a document and you realize that what you are going to use it for, it may even be smaller or bigger. So you just come and change it here. So if I come to this place and I just say, okay, I want it to be 15 and I want here to also be 15, I can just change it here and it will take effect in my work for me. So it will, as you are seeing, the mouse is telling you that it's working. So by the time it finishes, it will increase the height and the weight all for me. So when you are working on a project and then you realize that no, the height and the weight, I mean, it will not match what I'm going to do, you can just change the dimensions from image and then image size. So we wait for it to load and then we continue. Change in the size. Okay. So now what I used initially was basically something that normally fits WhatsApp profile picture where you don't lose anything. So I'll just go there and just go and change it to my 12.5. So as with this, mostly if you are doing something that you want to let it fit on your WhatsApp profile picture and everything will show, is 12.5. Okay. So now from the image, we can just look at okay, we have image rotation. You can rotate the work 90, 180 clockwise. Yes, so these ones are also self-explanatory. Then we have layers. We have layers. The layers too, most of them are not activated because we have not actually started working. So when we get to that part, you can have a look at it. All right. Then yeah, so majority of these things will not be activated until it gets information. But then when you come to the view part here, the view part, you have one important thing here that you can also have a look at, which is the print size. So whenever you are working, you can first have a look at how your print size will look at. So this work, I can just click on this and see that, okay, if I am to print it out, how will it look like? So I can just click on this, and this is basically how it's going to look like. Please, can you see?
So it's like a print view.
Yes, print preview in Microsoft Word. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's just going to tell you that this thing that you are seeing it small like this, when you are to bring it to reality, or when you are to print it out, it's going to be something way more than that. So you have to also consider that one as well. Okay. Now, so on the view, basically the print size is what normally we use. And then if you come to the ruler part here, if you open yours for the first time and you don't see the ruler, you can just activate the ruler from here. The ruler is this one. One is here, which is the vertical, and one is here, which is the horizontal one. So the ruler is two. So if you don't see, you can just go to the view and you click on it to enable it. When you enable it, you have this ones here. What it basically helps you do is, when you are setting your project, you can use the ruler to uh I'm coming. So when you are setting your project, you can use the ruler to, first of all, my machine is busy here. First of all, set how you want your work to be like. So it's not coming. So you drag it down like this. Then you can also have the vertical aspect like this. So for instance, maybe this place behind the vertical ruler, I don't want to write anything there. On top of this horizontal ruler, I don't want to write anything. Okay, I want, after this place, maybe the phone number and the contact address of the person should come. So the ruler basically helps you to set like margins, and let me say margins. Yes. So if you don't see your own, you can just, and a single project can have so many margins. So you can divide your work into sections, and then you now will be dividing it and deciding how you want it. So like that.
How did you put the ruler?
So you just click on it and then drag it to where. Okay. So now that is the ruler for you. Then the window, nothing better, nothing better, nothing better. I hardly goes here. So basically that is it. Now, moving on, some of the things that you are going to be working with, some of the things that you are going to be working with 24/7 is what we call the Photoshop tools. And they are at your left hand side here. Photoshop tools. Yes, they are at your left hand side here. And there are a lot. Myself, I'm not able to use all of them, but I'm able to do what I want to do with the basic ones. There are a lot. And if you want to go into Photoshop full time, then it has to be a full time course for you. But then you can learn to do whatever you want to do with the basics, that you have. Now, we have the first one, which is the move tool. What the move tool does is, anytime you select any of these tools and then you apply it or you use it, that particular tool will be held on to, let's say, the mouse. So if you don't take care, you can never do anything unless you release the mouse. Please, you understand? Please, you understand?
Yes.
So for instance, if I click on this T here, the T means test. It means test. We have a lot of other test styles in it. So if you click the arrow down there, it will open. There is a small arrow down there. When you click it, it will open the different tests that we have there. But let's say I have clicked on it. Now you see that the mouse has turned. It means that it's in a test form. I won't be able to do anything until I release the mouse. How do I release the mouse? I now come to the move tool. When I click on this one, the mouse will now be free to do anything else. So if you want to use, let's say, this one box, and you click on the box, the thing will turn to box for you, meaning now it is in the box form. So you can just drag and draw the shape that you want. Why is my mouse doing that? And draw the shape that you want. Even when you are done, that particular tool you selected, as you can see from here, is still active. It's still active from here. So that is what will still be on the mouse. So you cannot do anything until you release the mouse. So if you want to release the mouse, you come to the move tool button here, you click on it. When you click on it, the mouse is now free to do any other thing or select any tool available. Please, do you understand that part?
Yes.
That part will get you confused if you are not getting, if you don't get it once, it will, because you may be
Yeah.
thinking of doing something and it will be like the mouse is not active or it has hold on to something different. First, you
So
have to
the
look.
active tool, the active tool will be highlighted,
Yes,
or it will
always
be
the
the tool.
active tool will be highlighted. So if I click this, you see it's highlighted, meaning this is
Okay.
the active tool. When I click on this, this is the active tool. When I come and click on this, it will release it for me.
Okay. So the the enables you to select another tool that you want to use.
Basically, you click on that, it will release the mouse for you to select any other tool that you want. So now with that, in mind, let's look at some of the things. So if you just put the cursor on, you can see we have rectangular mark hue, we have polygonal lasso. Some of them, you look at it, as you are working on, as I said, it's a learning process. As you are doing a project, it will demand that you apply some logic. It will demand that, so this is a cropping tool where you can, so when you put the cursor there, you can even see the short animation that comes, indicating that it's trying to tell you what that tool is being used for. You get it? Now, when you come to this one, we have a frame tool. So when you just do the frame, you can see what he's doing. Yeah. So basically, we have eyedropper, we have this, we have that. And then one of the things you'll be using most is the eraser, this one. So when you do something and you feel like you are wrong, or you need to kind of say undo or something like that, you can just use the eraser tool. So this, I can just use the eraser to come and then clear this. But then when I click on the rectangle box, they say could not complete your request because no layer or layers are selected. Meaning anytime you want to apply something to any of the things that you are doing with, everything that you see on your dimension here is called a layer. So when you want to come
Okay.
back to that layer, you first have to select it. So now the layer is selected. Now I can just go back, click my eraser, and then come to that layer. Then I will now be asked to convert it or make the image or the layer a rasterized image before I can work with it. So I'll say okay. Now that I said okay, the eraser will work for me, that I can clear it anyhow. Now, when I selected the eraser, I see that the shape is too small. You can just come up here and then you see this side, just increase it from here. For today, to not be all that simple for you, but then, so as you see, as I'm increasing, the eraser is also increasing. So I can just clear this one and that will be all. I cannot clear
Oh,
this one because I didn't select this box here. So if I want to select this box and clear it, what I have to do is come to my right hand side. I told you everything we are going to be using is called layers. So just come to layer. Every layer that you bring here will be here. This is the first layer. We have cleared the color, but then it doesn't mean that it is deleted. We only
sorry, your
cleared
voice.
we
Sorry, your voice.
we only cleared the color, but it doesn't mean that the layer is deleted. So if you want to delete it, you right
Your
click.
voice.
You can you hear me?
No.
This is
I
one.
can hear.
This is one thing about Zoom. Hmm. Please,
Yes, let's try.
workstation or dimension you have created is called a layer. For you to be able to work on that layer, you must first of all select it. So now the first layer that we selected, this one, you see we selected a layer and we cleared the content. This rectangle, this one. This is the rectangle we selected. We cleared the color, but then the layer is not deleted. So if you want to
The
delete it,
layer is not there.
it's still there. If you want to delete it, you can just press delete from your keyboard to delete that layer because it is of no use. So the objective here is that anything that you see at the moment, the cursor is still hold on to the eraser because that is the active tool. So I'll just click on this to release the mouse for now. So if you come on this dimension,
The voice.
will be seen here. Every single layer you place on this dimension
The
in here.
voice.
So every single layer that you place.
Your voice.
Oh, hello.
Are you using the other?
So as I was saying, every single object that you place on your workstation or on the dimension that you have set for yourself is going to appear here as a layer. One important thing of working with layers is that every single layer you place, you must name it so that you don't get confused because a time will come you are going to get a lot of layers. How do you handle them? How do you handle them? So every single layer that you choose or you place on the let me say the frame that you set during the initial design, you must name it. If you want to name it, you just double click on it and then give it the name. So let's say pastors zone. You just type it like that and press your enter key. You have your layer named. So you can be naming your layers in a way that you don't get confused. You know every object and what it does for you. Please, you understand?
Yeah. So let me take something clearly here.
Okay.
You said every layer, okay, every layer is that portion